Okay, Public Works, special call Public Works Committee meeting, Counselor Wolverton, Counselor Gear.
Here.
Counselor Sims.
Here.
Counselor Nelms.
Here.
And Counselor Harden.
Here.
So y'all actually have 4.
All right. I think Amy distributed the minutes last Friday for the Public Works meeting on June 5th. Can I get a motion to dispense with the reading and approval?
So moved.
Second.
Great. Do we need to vote on that?
I just didn't hear who it was.
Second by
Nelms
Harden.
and John Harden.
Who was the first?
Jaleel Nelms.
Jaleel
Nelms and Harden.
first.
Okay, yes, you do need to vote, sir.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So 4-0.
Okay, and so there's no old business, so new business 070623, request for permission to work in the right of way at 2812 18th Street South, Jeff Robinson, Wyatt Pugh Building Department. Wyatt, do you have a report on this?
Yes, Brian, can you please pull up that? Is Jeff here?
He's not.
I guess he showed up. This is over at the building owned by Ken Shea. They're putting a exterior finish on the front.
They're doing what?
Redoing the exterior finish. I believe it's sort of like a stucco finish they're putting on there. It's the old Sam's.
The old Sam's?
The old Sam's. But they had their scaffolding set up in the city right of way on the sidewalk and had the whole thing sort of blocked off. And the inspector spotted it and went by. That's their request.
So do we know anything about how long or?
No, he said it wouldn't take but a day or two. He was.
How many days has it been up so far?
Well, I don't even think it's still up.
I was just there today and I didn't see it.
I think they took it down. So, I would get, since he's not here, I have to guess, but.
I wouldn't want to guess. I mean, I understand that's not your fault.
Yeah.
I would say, I would recommend, I'm not on the committee, but
Yeah.
carrying it over until you get sufficient information to figure it out.
Fair.
I would hate for the council to take action on something that they didn't know what was going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if there's no objection, then we'll carry over the item. All right. So no objection. So that's carried over. Melody.
I got you.
080623, request to work in the right of way at 2844 18th Street South, Chris Jones, Wayne's, Wyatt Pugh Building Department.
All right, and I believe Chris is here. All right, hey, Chris, you want to go ahead and just explain what it is you need to do?
Yeah.
And if you don't mind, just.
Let me change the sheet. How's it?
Oh, okay.
Let
Sorry.
me just change the sheet. Sorry, wrong committee. Go over, so yeah.
Trying to put a place of business with this.
No, you just don't.
Just one
Okay,
second, yeah.
all right.
You're good.
So the business asked us to update their treatment, and the only treatment that we offer right now is Centricon. Because of the front building, the sidewalk there, we have to do a directional boring to make access to the soil so we can put the stations in there. They'll all be covered by that silver cap right there, and that's tightened down. You can't pull it off without a special tool to undo it. And as far as a mess, they have a slurry machine that fits over the coring tool, and it sucks up all that concrete residue and stuff like that. So
Those
How
are
many
pretty
places?
close to the building.
Sir?
Are those going to be pretty close to the building?
Yes, sir. Yeah, they're going to be roughly 18 inches, 18 to a foot to a foot and a half away from the building. So they're not going to be in the high traffic walkways or anything like that.
So you got 9 of them you're doing, is that what I'm seeing right there?
Oh no, it's 5. Yeah, it's 5. So we're doing them every 20 foot across the front.
what is the purpose of these?
It's for the termite bond.
For the termite bond?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Centricon's a form, probably most of y'all have it around your houses.
Yeah.
So it's just a form of, treatment.
Interesting. Is it all block and there's no frame? Anyway, this is just a formality.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes,
Are
ma'am.
they selling the building or?
They just bought it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I think they just bought it, cause this came to us through a
Professor's
wood
meeting.
station.
I think they'll come over today. So they're good both of these.
And
Okay.
Hale, I'm just curious, have we, have these been installed in the sidewalk previously?
I don't know.
Okay.
I've never seen this before.
I'm just curious about the unevenness on the sidewalk and, you know, it just kinda seems awkward, so I'm just trying to learn.
Well, I'm not sure what other buildings along 18th Street do, because I don't think we see these.
I've never seen it before.
There have been several properties, downtown, I know that we cover, if you've ever been to New Orleans, you almost wouldn't notice these. These are on every sidewalk in New Orleans. Mobile has them, as, you know, they deal with significant termite pressure down there. It's about a 3-inch aluminum cap, and they do sit flush with the ground, so, they are definitely in high traffic areas, and I honestly think the reason, probably a lot of people in the room haven't noticed them because they are so, you know, they just almost blend in with, they're really not intrusive anyway.
Well, what this agreement that the owner will be asked to sign identifies the city if somebody trips on it.
Yes, I have a question from Counselor Waltman.
Could the building owner not be on the inside technically? You're just trying to access the soil, but you're not core drill?
No, not really, because of the size of them, and I haven't been inside this building, so I'm not sure if they have tile floorings or wood floorings or
Wood.
wood.
In that case, it would obviously take drilling through that full covering.
Yeah,
To access that.
Meaning drilling through the wood.
and the concrete that lies underneath it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, why are you guys, I mean, it's just normal that you would go outside onto a sidewalk? Is that your typical approach?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And that's not necessarily even a Wayne's approach, that is this is an industry standard.
And it's hard to tell really from that picture, but because, so you've got the circular cap, but in the middle, there's like a bolt
Like
or
to
something going
access.
through. I'm just trying to get an idea if that's absolutely flush with a cap.
I should have brought one in here. Yeah, so what that cap is comprised of, it's got that metal on top, and then that right there is a special headed bolt. You access it by a fitting that's like 2-pronged, so that's how you tighten it down. And then there's a rubber gasket in there, so you're compressing it, making that rubber gasket wider, and that's what keeps it from coming out.
But yes, it is flush.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it is flush.
Because I know we have the agreement, I just wanna, but just still wanna make sure there's no additional trip hazards. And I'm assuming that everything with these installations maintains like sidewalk ADA compliance, and y'all meet those, are familiar with those regulations and meeting those parameters?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Counselor.
Just to follow up on the question from Mr. Wall, is it that they cannot go inside, or is it just harder to put them inside?
If it was a concrete slab on the inside, theoretically it could go inside, but now if they have any type of floor covering in there, it would mean tearing that up. I mean, in some capacity, I mean, even think if this was on ground level, to say inside would mean tearing the carpet up.
Because you gotta get access to it.
Yes,
You're
sir.
saying
Yeah.
that.
So what the point of that is you're drilling through that concrete to access soil where termites are.
Right, and you've gotta have access to it when you come back, so that's what you're saying, if you put flooring over it.
Yeah, because they come back
Oh,
every
yeah,
month.
Yeah, definitely, yes, sir, that's correct.
So no reason it couldn't go inside, it's just more inconvenient.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, theoretically it could. If it was a concrete slab, if it was a warehouse of some kind where it was maybe storage or really not any type of floor covering, sure, it could in that case.
Okay.
I think he's got a wood floor there that he's redoing.
I think they have carpet on,
Well, I mean, it's gonna be a whole new,
Yeah.
I think they're renovating the whole
Yeah, they're
space.
doing the whole
I mean, I
thing.
think they've basically gutted it. We're doing it.
Yeah.
What's going in there?
Rhapsody and another children's clothing store. People who own those stores bought them.
And let me say this if I can, I mean, we're at risk of here, at the request of the building owner, I mean, we're trying to provide a service for them. But if there is something that, and I get, hey, yes, it's not y'all's maybe line of work, and I understand maybe not seeing these, if there's something specific that we can do or provide, to make everyone feel, comfortable with what's going on, I understand the traffic on the sidewalk, we're certainly willing to provide that on their behalf to, try to, help protect the building. So if there's more that we need, then we can certainly provide that.
The owner has to sign a identification on it, not with the property.
Okay.
It's a condition of being able to work in the right of way, so.
Okay. Do we need to pass that along to the building owner?
Somebody will have to sign it.
Can't be approved otherwise.
Okay.
It's approved to be conditioned upon that. It really wouldn't be permitted until we got the contract, the permit back.
I will pass that along. Let them know that.
And if it gets approved tonight, that means that's happening tonight in council meeting, like at 6 o'clock?
Before the building inspection department's gonna let you do the drilling, you'll have to have the back to sign.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
And how regularly are these serviced?
Once a year.
Once a year. And would they, if they service them, would they have to come back and get permission again?
No, so this will be a one-time deal as far as digging.
Okay.
Next year, all we'll do is come take those caps off, check the bait inside, and then put it back all like
The
it was.
industry provides that if there's any damage or caused by their use of the right of way, they're responsible. So as long as it's there, if somebody trips on it, or becomes loose or whatever, it's the owner's responsibility. It's by the city. And if it becomes a problem, we can ask it be removed.
What kind of machine is used for boring?
It's a concrete saw, or a concrete drill bit. It's about 3 inches in diameter, and it's
Is it on
water.
a trailer?
Nope, it's handheld. Yeah, everything's gonna be handheld. As far as like disrupting business, we start like at 7 a.m., so any of those concerns, we would be disrupted.
And it'd take you about how long?
5 holes, depends on how thick the concrete is, less than an hour. So we should be out there by 8 o'clock.
If there's any concern about what they look like or, how flush they are, you just ask them to bring that information back on the 10th.
I think the main thing is it's just a weird application, and it's just one of those things that they have to have it to sell the building and to get the termite bond, for the sale to go through.
They're not, he's not selling the building, he's moving in there.
Well, well, to
If I
just,
can-
to get.
And I don't know the exact procedure here, but if this is the street view in New Orleans of these things, if anybody just, it maybe even provide a more clear picture of just how flush that is with the ground. And those things are, just very common.
Yeah, I mean, to President White's point, I do think, it's the dynamic of hearing it tonight in committee and then it immediately going to council, or really it being a
It's not our
relatively
usual
new
situation
concept,
where
yeah.
we've got some
And,
lag time.
But it's, so we can, if we want to see it, if we want more information, we can carry it over. If we want to send it out, we can send it out. Ask more questions. Did y'all see this?
Yes.
I have a question.
Yeah.
How far away from the building can you be? Like, could you put them in the asphalt? Or is
Yeah.
that too far away?
We could totally do that. Yeah,
You
and
mean
that's
back in the
typically what we
street?
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of the sidewalk, they'd be in the park on top of it.
Is that better?
Well, I was thinking the opposite, could you put them so close against to
The building
the
that they
building
would,
wall that
nobody would
no one's ever
actually
gonna
walk along.
along there?
I think there are label restrictions on getting quite that close.
Yeah.
But I understand your point, but hey, asphalt is no problem at all, we have definitely done that,
Yeah.
even to put it on the line, or in the middle of a park. I mean, some people just kind of request either way, but it really in the middle of a parking space, anybody who's going to be there is gonna pull right on top of it, I mean, nobody would really, get out and step on it, so that can certainly be done.
Yeah.
Does it make sense to have them talk with engineering about the best spot for them?
Well, the agreement's gonna show, they have to show the spot as an addendum on the agreement, so yeah, if there's any discussion around location being different, then then we'd need to carry it over for that.
I'm wondering, just could we get Cale to go out there and look at it, or do you?
I'd love to, John.
All right, I mean, I don't have a huge problem with it.
Just wanna be sure it's at the right spot that makes sense for the city. I mean,
I'm not
there's-
hearing a whole lot of comfort from the committee,
Right.
so I would say, why don't you carry it
I'm
over
fine
and
with it.
get a little more information?
Yeah, because I know what they are, so.
Okay.
But what kind of information, I guess, is what I'm asking, just to carry it over is.
Where they're gonna be.
Yeah, what I would say is, you figure out if they're gonna be in the asphalt or the concrete, they can talk with Cale about that.
Okay.
If you want them to bring an example in, they can bring, of the cap, they can bring that in.
Slick if they're wet.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, really, you know, there may have been other applications of this previously, but, you know, again, you know, if not recently, say this happens, you know, the next building and the next
Sure, it
building,
could end
then
up all the way
we
down
have,
the street.
you know, we're gonna need to be consistent in some manner going forward, so you just getting that additional information up front would be helpful. So I know there's varying opinions, but if there's no objections to carrying it over, we can carry it over and continue to have discussions about placement as well as, you know, in 2 weeks or sometime in between, look at an example of one.
Yeah, and I think the placement part should just be discussed with our city in terms of, you know, where it doesn't harm the infrastructure as much. So, yeah.
Mayor McCluskey.
Yeah, I would also suggest if you have any other examples that may be a little closer to home than New Orleans, if you have some that are in Birmingham.
I think I can probably provide you some right here at home.
That just may be beneficial for people to realize, okay, well, I've walked by here and I've never noticed them, or I've walked by here and then look.
I think so too, yeah, I kind of, my mind was going there also. I think,
Yeah.
we could just reply via email to, hey, check this address, this address. I do think these are here realistically.
Sure.
I mean, even very close by. And I do think it's a good idea, if you all want to have the discussion of, uniformity, I think it does make sense that it's not stepping up or stepping, you know, on the sidewalk, off the sidewalk. It's what, this is the standard, this is where we go. So I do think as we go forward, this may be something that comes up, as people are dealing with termites and serious.
I appreciate that. And, did both of y'all sign in?
I have not.
Okay, if you would sign in as well, that'd be great, just for follow-up. Thank you. Okay, so with no objection, we're gonna carry that over as well till, July 10th. All right, and that is, concludes our agenda, so Public Works is adjourned.